Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to a Division 2 video. Today we're going over the master builds, the builds that we use to rock through the new master difficulty. As we know, the season has ended, the Climax mission is here, and this also introduced the new difficulty master. We have set up a team to just shred through it and of course help some people out live on stream, and these are the builds that we have been using. So I will show you the DPS build and I will show you the healer build, as our setup will be 3 DPS and 1 healer. We don't need a tank build, we don't need a human decoy, 3 DPS and a healer will suffice. The DPS build are a little bit different than you're used to because we still need to adjust to that master difficulty. But as you can see in the background as well, we can still hit our millions of crit shots while we are a lot better protected. And without further ado, let's dive right into the first build and let me showcase the DPS build that we have been running. And of course, like always, to start with the specialization, we're using the crossbow specialization because this gives you that 12% protection from elites. If you don't want to worry about that, you can also go for the flamethrower that will give your team some extra damage, same as for the grenade launcher. But for now, we're going for a DPS build with some protection from elites, because of course we all know these master NPCs hit quite hard. And then over to the weapons I'm using. My main weapon I'm usually shoot with is the Lexington, and this is on expertise level 25. It has a total damage of 125.6k. RPM is close to 980. We have a mag of 50. Headshot damage of 75%. Of course, damage your target out of cover on there. And I chose to go for Ranger as the talent, as that will always give me some damage. Killer will probably give you more, but because we're fighting in a group most of the time, you won't always take that enemy out. And Ranger will always give you at least some of the damage, as it amplifies your weapon damage by 2% for every 4 meters that you're away from the target. Because we're beaming people down from a distance most of the time, Ranger comes in clutch. I went for a 3 times crit chance and of course a 20 extra rounds minus the 10% reload speed for the mods. Your secondary, you could go for the Ouroboros of course if you have it, but also the ACS 12 can come in clutch. If you have extra on there, you can just stack up your stacks. So if we go down, you can use the lefty, but the rock and roll with rate of fire on there rolled because it's not doing damage. We're doing it for the stacks. Perfectly extra on there can instantly get you to the stacks that you want to be at. And you already guessed it, yes, we are running around with a striker build in combination with PFE. So running over striker, we have the striker mask, of course a weapon damage, critical hit damage on there, and then go for protection from elites, the highest that you have. I have 13 on my mask. Same as for my backpack, weapon damage, critical hit damage, 13% protection from elites. We went for the backpack because this raises our damage from 65 to 90%. Then for our gloves, we have weapon damage, critical hit damage. Our knee pads, a weapon damage, critical hit chance. And then we have a Seska chest. Why Seska? 8% critical hit chance. We have, of course, again, crit chance, crit damage as the attributes with weapon damage as the core attribute. And again, a protection from elites mod. This is 13% for me. And for the talent, we chose to go for Obliterate. Critical hits increase weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds. Stacks up 20 times. If you feel comfortable getting more stacks out of Striker, you could go for the chest piece, gaining that extra 100 stacks. We tried it out. Overall, we played around with it a little bit, but I prefer still to go for the Seska combined with Obliterate, because I couldn't always get those stacks above that 100 or even close to that 200. And then for the last piece, and this makes it quite great and pushes us all the way up to 61%, as this holds a 12% protection from elites, so you can get to 62% protection from elites as throughout the improvised holster. This holster can only be crafted You cannot farm it anywhere, so you can just go to your crafting bench. You can craft this holster. It might set you back some optimizations, but this is a great holster to attached to a protection from elites build, and that's why we did this. We're still doing damage. We're still doing 1.4, 1.5, 1.7 million crits, even without the boost of our healer, as sometimes you can even see those 2 millions pop in, even without using all those crit chance mods. I went for a revive hive, and you can go for a shield for some survivability, but the foam comes in clutch as well, as within this mission there are a lot of hyenas that try to hide in the corner. There are a lot of snipers that can take you out pretty fast, but there are also a lot of RC cars riding around, and they will always sit in the back trying to get that RC car to blow in your face. And with that, the foam comes in clutch, because then you can get them out of their hiding spot and beam them down. Over to the stats real quick. Of course, we're focusing on 51% crit chance and 105% crit damage. You could go for 57% crit chance and of course then lower the crit damage by 12%. But personally for this build, I think this combination of 51 and 105 is good enough. And then of course the only thing we have to check is our protection from elites. That will be 61% on my build, or maybe even 58 on your build if you only have the 12% protection from elites. And that's pretty much it for the DPS build. Let's go over the healer build real quick. This is the healer build. It's exactly the same that we use with our incursion. So we're running around with 4 pieces of future, everything rolled to repair skills mod on there. We went for the chest piece, repair skills mod on there, because of the talent. Increases ground control damage bonus from 15 to 25%. So our healer is not only healing us, but also gives us damage throughout that ground control. Increase you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15% when at full armor. Because he always heals us, 9 out of 10 times we are on full armor. Because we're running around with that chest, will give us 25% extra damage output. Then, of course, for the knee pads, we did the same. Repair skill rolled. We use the gloves as the BTSU, because then you can overcharge everybody's revive hive or whatever skills that you're using. Very useful to destroy your hive. That will kick in the overcharge. You can do that every 2 minutes. And that overcharge will, of course, give back your skills or make the skills stronger that your allies are using. And then to finish off this build, it's gonna be the setup, the Usina Getica named item. We found this with repair skills and skill haste already on there, so we could roll that armor core away for a skill tier, as this will give us even more damage output with perfect opportunistic. Enemies you hit take 15% more damage from all sources for 5 seconds using a marksman or a shotgun only. And that's why we're also running around with 2 shotguns. And mainly you're gonna shoot with the Scorpio, of course, adding that poison, that disorient, that shock. And after 9 pellets, especially at the tanky boss, 2 named enemies within this mission, you will get that 20% amplified damage on there. And of course, because we're running around with this backpack as well, this will amplify it with another 15%. So next to our healer giving us the heals that we need, he will also give us some extra power output, and that is great. If we go over the skills, we of course want to use the Restorer Hive. We want to get the right stuff on there, so let me change it around. You want to go for healing. You want to go for extra charges. Where is it? Here. Repair charges. That brings you up to 36. And then you can choose to go for health or duration, whatever you want to go for. I chose to go for health, but that is kind of the setup, next to, of course, going for the cam launcher, the reinforcing cam launcher, giving you that 7.5% heal or whatever you have as a heal, and the secondary will be 1 extra ammo. And that's pretty much it. This is the whole overview of both of the builds. builds that we have been using on a group run. One of us runs around with this healer build, healing everybody, buffing up the damage output as well, and the rest of us will run around with the striker build that is connected to, of course, PFE. Again, you can run around with a shield or you can get your foam out, whatever you prefer. And that's it. 2 builds in one. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments down below how you are setting up your build and what are you getting together. Are you getting to that master difficulty or are you still struggling to beat it? Try to use these builds, and if you want some help on PC or on PlayStation, jump over to twitch.tv/IamPurePrime. We stream from Tuesday all the way up to Saturday, and we would love to help you out. Make sure that you at least completed all the scouts and ran the Climax mission on normal, hard, challenging, or heroic, so we can get you through that mastery. Thanks for sticking until the end. Like the video if you liked the video or helped you out in any way or form. And of course, if you're new here and or you want to be updated by the Division 2, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you in the next one. Pure Prime out.